The F word. It's become a major problem in our society. Not so much for kids, but for adults. You see, kids use it all the time, but adults seem to avoid it like the plague. What's up with that? I mean, there's nothing particularly wrong with this word. In fact, it creates some of the best moments of our lives. For most of us, the greatest times in our lives have been filled with the F word. Of course, the word I'm talking about is fun. Now, I'm not talking about the reckless fun that you can only experience 2 days a week for those short-lived moments of pleasure that leave you sobered up and worse off than the night before. No, I'm talking about fun. Deep down, you know what I'm talking about. You might have just forgotten. Allow me to refresh your memory. Don't you remember the childlike fun that consumed your youthful years? The kind that left you wide-eyed and mystified at every coming day. I'm talking about the kind of fun that had your kid self springing out of bed in the morning, excited to start the day. I'm sure there was a time, a day, a moment, something that captivated your mind, captivated your imagination, and sparked that fire within you. On Wednesdays, I teach my little cousin photography for an hour. During one lesson a couple weeks ago, I sat her down and asked her why she wanted to do photography. Because it's fun, she said. How foolish I was to think for a moment that that reason and that reason alone was not sufficient enough to justify her amorous engagement. As I sat there, stunned, staring at the passionate, wondrous twinkle in her eyes, I said, good. That's the way it should be. When was it that we decided that work and fun can no longer coincide? If we truly knew how to have fun, why is it that 70% of our society hates their job? The very thing we do the most. Why is it that the heart attack rate goes up by 35% every Monday morning? The same exact time frame in which we begin another arduous work week. So, fun. What happened to this word? As kids, our lives revolved around it, but somehow as we got older, it got pushed to the bottom of our priorities. Yet we wonder where the passion in our lives went. The passion didn't go anywhere. It's right there in front of you, woven in between the 3 letters you've carelessly designed your life to avoid. F-U-N. Is there something particularly wrong with these letters? Ecclesiastes says, "So I commend the enjoyment of life, because there is nothing better for a person under the sun than to eat and drink and be glad. Then joy will accompany them in their toil all the days of the life God has given them." What if fun wasn't foolish, useless nonsense? What if fun wasn't foul, unbridled noise? What if fun didn't require a fix of unhealthy narcotics? What if fun didn't require furiously unleashing your nipples? Now that you're listening, think with me for a minute. What if fun could be fully unveiled naturally? What if we could harness the power of fun to fully unlock now? You know, this very moment that you're presently in, the one you're using this screen to escape from. Look up from the screen. You have now just spent the past 3.5 minutes vicariously living in moments from me and my brother's trip to Europe. If you look back at the screen or have had any inclination to, it's because your life is so boring and uninspiring that even the mere hope of some colorless image reappearing back onto the screen in front of you is more entertaining than your actual life is. And if watching someone else's life is more interesting than living your own, you need a new life. Think about it. What if you were, right now, fully engaged and present in an incredible moment in which you were immensely inspired and captivated by all that's around you? Would you think for even a second to look back down at this blank screen? You wouldn't. Why? Because the moment surrounding you would be more enjoyable than a blank screen. But it isn't. That's sad. And no, it's not that your life isn't interesting. That's a sad excuse that we use to justify our own familiarity with the greatness that constantly surrounds us. What's around you that you could be grateful for? What could you laugh at? What could you love? Who could you love? What could you do right now in this present moment to make these seconds that are currently passing by immensely enjoyable? Do that. Be here. If you make the most of this moment, your past becomes irrelevant and your future becomes limitless. Focus only on this moment, because this very moment is truly all that you have.